Hey guys, it's Saria. Welcome back to my channel. So today is another ear tutorial for you guys, and I have actually done ears of this nature before. So way long ago when I very first started my channel, I did pink dress Cinderella inspired ears, and they were very simple, and I decided I wanted to do an upgraded design. So if you guys see here, I have my pink dress, my bow's all messed up, hang on. My pink dress Cinderella inspired ears. They are very like gaudy, I don't know the right word, but they are a little bit extra, along with Jaq and Gus joining us on the bow. Now, as I was making these and I got to this section right here with this bow, I really started getting Lottie vibes, Charlotte from Princess and the Frog, and I was like, I need a pair of Lottie ears too. So I decided to make this bow interchangeable and make this a Lottie inspired pair as well. So honestly, the pink bow is still very like Cinderella-esque. So I think you can do it either way, but whether you're looking for Lottie or Cinderella or just a cute, feminine, pink, girly set of ears, this is the tutorial for you. So without any more chit chat, let's jump into how I made these.
So starting with fabric, I picked up this light pink satin, very silky kind of fabric. I got this from Joann's, and I'll be using my ear cutting line template, which is the largest template. I do have all of them linked down below for you guys. With this type of fabric, I would highly suggest kind of overdrawing your lines. If you guys can see here, I'm putting a little bit of a gap between my marker line and the actual template itself. This type of fabric doesn't give much stretch when you pull it, so you want to give yourself just a little bit of excess just to make your life a little bit easier. And then I'm cutting these out using my mini cutting mat and my rotary blade. These are both things that I've picked up from Hobby Lobby, but you guys can find these at any craft store as well as Walmart. And then I also have, I wanted to show you guys a Dollar Tree version of this. And the Dollar Tree one actually works pretty good. I mean, if you're on a budget, I can't see why that wouldn't work for this type of project. Okay, full disclosure, this clip is from making a different set of ears, but I don't have a clip for this set for some reason. But the next step is going to be to use a coordinating felt. So in a moment, you'll see that I actually used pink felt for the Cinderella ears. But this is Dollar Tree felt. I actually wouldn't recommend the Dollar Tree felt. It is so thin, you guys can literally see through it here. Just pick it up from Walmart or Hobby Lobby or Joann's or something, because it's much higher quality and it's already so inexpensive. But you are going to want to trace 4 of the ear cutting line template on the felt and cut it out. That is the largest template again. So after you've cut these out, you should have 4 of the satin fabric and 4 of the felt. The next step is to trace the smallest template, which is the foam and batting template, and in my case, cardboard. You're going to trace 4 of those onto a piece of sturdy cardboard, but that you're still able to cut through. I like using an X-Acto knife on my cutting mat. I find that to be just the best way to cut these out. That doesn't hurt my hand quite as much, but you're totally welcome to use scissors. That's how I've done it for years in the past, before I finally bought myself an X-Acto knife. But same as the felt and the satin, you're going to need 4 of these as well. So you should have 4 of the satin, 4 of the felt, and 4 of the cardboard. And now it's time to assemble all of these. So you're going to start with the cardboard and the felt, and you're going to hot glue the edges of this onto the cardboard. So if you guys watch me here, I'm just going to do a small line of hot glue very close to the edge, and then I'm going to fold over the felt and tap it down into the hot glue. The reason I don't do the fabric straight onto the cardboard is because this reinforces the ears and gives them a lot more strength, and they're not going to bend or snap or give that cardboard any chance of buckling when you're working. The other thing is it does give the ear a little bit more thickness, which in my personal opinion makes them look a little bit higher quality and a little bit more like expensive. I don't know. But you're basically just going to do this method all the way around, putting spots of hot glue and then folding the felt over and tapping it down onto the cardboard. By the way, this little finger protector that I'm wearing that I'm clearly not even using because I'm just burning my middle finger instead is from Dollar Tree. But you know, you have to use it for it to work. The next step is going to be the same thing but using that satin fabric. So I'm going to place this one down on the satin fabric, do a small line of hot glue, and then I'm going to fold over the satin fabric into the hot glue, using the finger that's not wearing any type of cover. There it is. That burned. I saw it. Did you guys see it? Now I'm using the cover again. Oh gosh. Anyway, you're gonna basically continue this all the way around the ear until you get to the bottom portion where I'm going to show you how to do that. But it is very, very simple. At this point, your ear should look like this, and then you're going to take some scissors and you're just going to snip the felt on the bottom in half and glue down half of it. Then you will glue down the other half of it, and then you'll do the same thing to the satin fabric. The reason that I do this in two different parts instead of cutting it all at once and gluing it down all at once is because if you clip the satin fabric too high up, it can kind of pucker your fabric and make it look a little bit wonky. So I just think it's better to take it one chunk at a time, and it's not like it takes you that much more time to do it that way. And then you just repeat these. See that pucker on the bottom? Because I didn't cut the fabric in half. Anyway, repeat these steps until you have 4 of those. And next we're going to go ahead and start with the trim that goes all the way around the ear. Now you actually want to do this part before you glue the ears together, so make sure that you watch this video as you're working. But you're going to take this ribbon trim. I believe I got this from Hobby Lobby in pink. They have it in some other colors too. It's so pretty. But I'm just gluing it down to 1/2 of an ear and trying to fold it kind of in half as I'm working with it, so that you get this really nice ruching coming around the edge of the ear. You don't want to just glue it down flat, because then you're not going to get quite as much fullness as if you fold it while you're working with it. I'm so sorry I'm getting out of frame, you guys. I know that that's probably not super helpful. Oh, look, I got back in frame. Good job, Saria. But just continue all the way around the ear, gluing it down and folding it as you're tapping it down, and then cut off your excess. And then you can go ahead and glue the other half of the ear on. Just be careful, because you don't want the ruffles to get stuck on the inside of the ear, and then you don't have as full of an edge. So I just kind of nestle it in there and push the edges toward the sky. And then I just firmly press down my ear and let that glue set. You can actually feel when the glue is dry because it cools, so the ear will be a little bit warm to the touch. And then it will slowly cool down. The next step will be some little embellishments. I got these in an arts and crafts pack for my kids, and I took it because I wanted the bows. You can totally make little teeny tiny bows yourself out of ribbon, but honestly, if you can save yourself the hassle, do. Just because it's so hard to glue things that are so tiny like that. But I'm going to take another pink lacy type of ribbon, and I'm going to create kind of a draping effect on the ear. This is the part that really reminded me of Lottie's dress, but it's also the bottom of Cinderella's dress. That's why I said that these are kind of dual ears. But I'm just doing a dot of glue to tack down the ribbon. I'm going to call it ribbon. And then I'm just doing a dot, leading toward the edge on each side. I'm not over gluing this, because a dot, I would say like a dot on each point, will attach it nice and firmly to the ear. I'm getting out of frame again. Oh my goodness. But you don't need to go crazy with the glue and make a big mess on the ear, because obviously that's not going to look very nice. But I'm just kind of showing you guys, I'm actually kind of shoving the edge of this into the separation in the ears and hiding it in one of the ruffles on the trim. And then I'm just kind of zhuzhing it and fluffing it, making sure I like how it looks and that it's securely taped down with those tacks of glue. I hope the words I'm using make sense. Sometimes I use words and they don't sound real. Okay, full disclosure, I already glued on the bow, but I'm about to rip it off because I decided to add another trim because I really wanted these to be so detailed and just beautiful. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue down this braided trim. It is white, and I liked that it added a little bit of separation between all the shades of pink that I'm using. And I'm just kind of measuring that to the top and then gluing that down. This also reinforced the lacy part underneath it. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Now, if the direction of the trim is going to bother you, so these braids go in a specific direction, make sure you're paying attention to that, because I thought I was, and I glued it upside down. Like the braided trim is going 2 different ways, I think. So just, you know, whatever your preference is, just pay attention so that you're not annoyed with yourself at the end of it. And then glue that second one down, and now you can go ahead and add your little teeny tiny bow at the top. I also had these little teeny tiny bows in my craft supply from a Christmas DIY box swap that I did. I'll link the video if I can remember. But she sent me a ton of these adorable little bows, and I thought this was the perfect project to use them on. So I just glued those on the bottom portion of the white trim. I did debate double layering them because I thought that it made them pop out just a little bit more, but I don't think I decided to do that. I'm pretty sure it's just a single bow on each point. Moving on to the centerpiece bow, I got this ribbon off of Amazon, and I actually used it to decorate my Christmas tree to be Cinderella, pink dress, little dressmakers, mice inspired. I do have that on my TikTok and my Instagram if you guys want to see it because it's gorgeous. But I did have a little bit of excess, so I cut off just enough to make a bow with, but I would still have enough left for my tree for next Christmas. And I'm just pinching that ribbon into a bow shape. I know I keep getting out of frame. I'm so sorry, you guys. And then I'm just using that white braided trim to wrap around the center of my bow. Right now I'm just kind of checking the spacing and also how I would like to utilize these little buttons of Jaq and Gus that I have from the previous set of pink dress ears I made. Those buttons can be found at Hobby Lobby and Joann's. To create this bow, I'm just trimming off the frayed edges, and then I'm going to just hot glue down one end to the other. If you are going to want your bow to be interchangeable, this is when you're going to add the magnets. You're going to put a little dot of hot glue on the bottom of the bow and then tap down your magnet. It is very important to make sure you know the direction the magnet needs to be glued before doing this step. And then you're going to pinch your bow into a bow shape and then wrap the center. I used a little piece of the exact same ribbon just so it would match, and it's thin enough where the magnet doesn't have any problem sticking to the other magnet. I did burn the edges of the ribbon so that it wouldn't fray and make my ears look messy. You can just use a handheld lighter and just very, very, very carefully burn the edges of ribbon and it'll seal it shut. But then I'm just gluing down this center portion, and then my bow will be ready to go. Next, we're going to attach all of this to the headband. Now, don't forget what I said. I am going to show you guys how to attach the magnet and everything for the bows, but let's just start with the ears. So I use an ear spacing template every single time I do ears. I do have this template linked below for you guys as well, just to help you out with your spacing. But if you don't have a printer or aren't able to do that, I would say 2 to 2.5 inches depending on the type of ears you like, or if you have a set of ears you like, you can use those as a spacing guide as well. So you can lay the ears that you're making on top and get the right spacing. But I just applied a pretty good amount of hot glue to the bottom, but not so much that it will ooze out. So you just kind of want to follow the bottom line of the ear and then very firmly hold it down onto the headband. And I do this for about a minute. It is sped up for you guys right now, but you really want to firmly hold it down onto the headband for a while because the glue is not just drying, but it's setting. And you want to give it time to fully cure onto that headband so that these ears don't come off. These are the magnets that I use, but I bought these years ago off Amazon and they have never been restocked. I will try to find something comparable to link for you guys, but they are ultra strong magnets. That's why I like them. If you guys can see there, they will stick to each other from very far away. So I already have one down on the yellow bow, and now I'm going to glue this one into the center of the headband. I don't know why I decided to do this before gluing on the other ear, but let's just go with it. I'm putting a dot down on the center of the headband. I'm going to tap my magnet down on top of it. And I'm not just going to leave it like this, but I wanted you guys to see what this looks like before we move on to the next step to make this look cleaner. Now, instead of leaving this exposed, I am going to be using just some black satin ribbon from Dollar Tree to cover it up. So I'm tacking down the bottom of the ribbon to the bottom of the headband, and then I'm just going to wrap it around my magnet. If you guys can see there, I just was showing you it is still magnetized. I can still put a magnet on top of it through the ribbon. And then I cut off the excess and glue down the end, and that's it. You can't see the magnet. If you decide to wear these ears without a bow at all, you can't see it. It just blends right in with the black headband. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach the second ear. The last thing I decided to do for the Cinderella portion of the ears is to glue on the Jaq and Gus to the yellow bow. Now the reason I'm gluing them to the bow specifically is so that when I switch these out to be Lottie ears, you don't have Jaq and Gus on them. As much as I love them, I just want them to be for Cinderella. So I just attached them to this bow, and then I'm easily able to trade it out with my pink bow whenever I would like. Now the pink bow that I used for the Lottie ears I'm not showing in this video because I don't actually have a clip of it. It was a bow I already had on hand that I had made for a previous project a long time ago, but I am going to go ahead and link for you guys my DIY bow video. It shows you how to make a bunch of different bows with a bunch of different methods so that you can make any type of bow that you would like.
If you guys are looking for any other type of ear tutorials, I have over 50 here on my channel, maybe even over 60, 70, I don't know what I'm at right now, but I have a lot of DIY ears and I have them for a lot of characters. I have a lot of different techniques to make them. I've got light up ears and interchangeable ears and all kinds of things. So if you guys are at all curious, I will link my DIY ear playlist down below. Check them out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you're new because it really helps my channel out when you guys subscribe and like and comment. It supports my channel and helps it to keep growing and it helps me keep putting out new videos. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.